Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And oh my goodness, I am in the mix. I am in that load of laundry tumbling along in the dryer, right? But coming out of that dryer, it's going to be so fresh and clean and right, ready to wear again. I am in my last week in this job that puts the roof over my head. If you don't know, I have given my notice in this job that I have had the privilege of working, and not just working, but living and experiencing and taking in my own lessons, and at the same time being able to have a safe, comfortable place to practice my craft. I am so grateful for that job that put the roof over my head. But we are on, we are moving forward. And sometimes we are called to make a change in our life. And just out of that insecurity, right? We don't make those moves. We don't listen to that calling, or we question ourselves, or not even question ourselves. We actually put the ideas right down. We'll question our intellect, our sanity, right? Our roof over our head. We'll bring up every little bit of excuse and evidence and insecurity, those limiting beliefs that stop us from moving forward. And right, that's a lot, isn't it? And that's a lot to push up against. And that's what I've been pushing up against my entire life, not even recognizing that I was my own worst instigator, not my worst enemy, never ever. I was my best friend, my own best cheerleader. I just didn't have the lessons, right? I just didn't have the information, and I just didn't have the inkling, because we do get worn down in these battles that we have with ourselves and with the world and with others, right? And it is in my hopes in moving forward that, in that creation of the best human being I can possibly be, working in social media, grateful for the job that doesn't quite put the roof over my head, but doing it anyway with no expectations. But as the lessons move forward, you have these inklings of how things will work. And you also get the inklings of what you're getting right and what you're getting wrong. And I've gotten so much right, just as much right as I've gotten wrong. And who would I be if I had taken those lessons in and with those tools around my belt, right? Felt insecure, felt insignificant, and it's okay to feel that way. But that's why we kind of partner in this, right? With everything, in the lessons, in the conversations, in the relationships, in the adventures, in the mishaps, and the failures, and the heartbreaks, and the joys. And we partner with all of that because it's in the hopes that we can find a little bit of resolution, answers, directions. And in that search, that's the moving forward. That's the moving forward. And each one of us, we get to decide, right? We got to this point. Do we want to move forward? We graduated high school. Do we want to go to college? Right? We don't want to go to college. Okay, do you want to go to work, or do you want to get married and have babies and be a housewife? Do you want to work part-time and do that also? Do you want to serve the world? Do you want to serve yourself? Do you want to get better, right? And each one of us can make those improvements. When I first came into this, I didn't think my poop stank. I thought I had it all put together. I thought it was everybody else, but recognizing in my defensiveness and in my hypervigilance and in my dynamic relationships and growing up that, we are who we surround ourselves with. And, that was a great lesson that I picked up along the way. Not my lesson, somebody else, but I learned and I grew and I prepared myself for the next lesson in understanding that one, right? I look at my life right now and I don't see myself surrounded by lots, and especially in putting in my notice in the roof that puts over my head that allowed me to practice my craft. It allowed me to stay socially relevant in my community. Now I'm up in ends. And we're just going to throw out some good cheer. I live behind a fire station. We get to their destination and it's a false alarm and they just have to turn around and go back. So I've had a few days off. Okay, so let's get back to the main branch of the tree. I've had a few days off and taking in lessons, being in contemplation, getting things done around the house, but also getting things sorted out, cleaned out, taking a little bit of information and a little bit of lessons from other people that are doing the exact same thing. That's spring cleaning, right? It was snowing today. It was like a snowstorm this morning when I got up. And now the sun's coming out and it's warming up a little bit. And it's going to be raining in the next couple of days. And spring will be full force if we can wash away the compacted snow that is still a little bit of ice. But I feel it, I smell it, I'm excited for that. And that will draw me in that little bit of stall, right? Because it's the follow me, it's the start over, it's the something fresh, it's a new beginning, it's right. And sometimes that's all we need to get our butts in gear, right? My butt has been in gear, and of course I keep in mind that I can keep myself busy and not accomplish anything, or I can keep myself busy and move, right? And in creating the best human being, I have to be that evidence that it can be done. So we're off. I got 2 more days in that job that puts the roof over my head. I spent my morning, well, I didn't spend the whole morning, but I made sure I made a point of writing a couple of cards to a couple of people that I've been working with and sharing with and experiencing with and holding up just as much as they were holding me up, right? In those relationships that I built in that job that put the roof over my head. There are sad aspects of what I'm doing, right? And I have to remember that too, right? I was there for a reason. I loved my job. Was it my dream job? No, it wasn't my dream job, but I never made a secret of that to them, to myself, or to anybody else, right? That I was always on the move and something else. What that is, it's still to be revealed. It's still mine, right? Okay, you guys, let's grab a card, a couple of minutes, right, before I head off to that job that puts the roof over my head in the moment. And yeah, let's see what it has in store. Effort, right? Nothing is realized without that effort. That was something I learned very, very early, very, very young. As a small child, I learned this, that, it's true. Nobody was coming to save me. I was all on my own. We got the word, let's get out of the light like there, reflection, effort, right? When I first woke up to some of these ideas, I was putting in the effort, right? But I believed that because I was putting in the effort, like what came first, the chicken or the egg, it was because I put in that effort, that physical effort, that the lessons were revealed to me. I started waking up to some of these ideas. And in my choices, right? And in that effort to apply myself in those choices, right? It wasn't a physical choice that I made, but I was looking out for my future, right? Knowing that I was heading into my 50s or my 60s at the time, and I did not want to leave myself in the same situation that right happened to my dad, being in low income housing, that I wanted to better situate myself, that I could truly enjoy my retirement. I enjoyed my childhood. I enjoyed my young adulthood. It wasn't perfect. It could have been so much better. And I won't be making up for that lost time because that time is lost now, right? But having the lessons that I do, I have an opportunity through my own effort, right? By setting those goals and working towards those goals, that I might create the best life that I can. And like what happened when I first woke up to some of these ideas, it happened because I put that effort in. I am confident and I believe that if I continue to do so, and the evidence is in my own life, right? Hiccups happen, failures happen, mistakes happen, bad decisions happen. But when you believe in and you trust yourself, no matter how it works out, you understand that it's going to work out, right? How do you know if it's going to work out unless you put that foot in front of the next? And that's exactly what I'm doing, right? And I heard that call. I heard that call truthfully last year, right? And I ignored it because it was the roof over my head. And I heard that call and I got the lessons. I had the experiences and I had the adventures that said, make a different choice. And I didn't because I was hypervigilant in my own physical safety, in that roof that puts the roof over my head, or the food that comes across my table, my own sense of security, my own sense of adventure, my own need to hold on to my brand, right? Didn't listen. Came across my path. Grateful it came across my path again, right? And it gets more painful every single time. I'm just looking at the clock. It gets more painful every single time that I ignore when it's presented to me, and I ignored it. This time I didn't ignore it. Was it the right decision? I don't know. But it was definitely a different decision than what I had in mind. Or maybe I had it in mind and I was just looking for that excuse. But that did not happen without my effort. And sometimes that effort just starts with a decision. That's it, done, right? And that's usually how it works. That's it, I can't take it no more, right? And we make a choice. We make a different choice. And we just trust that no matter how it works out, it can't be much worse than what you're coming out of, right? And that's a true. Meet it halfway, right? Whoever, whatever, right? Helps those who help themselves, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. Have a great day.